Time now for another In the Legal Know. Attorney Vincent J. Russo is here, and today we are talking about RMDs. Okay, Vincent. What are RMDs?
Okay, a RMD stands for Required Minimum Distribution. And depending on your situation, you may have to take out a required amount from your IRA or 401k plan or a 403b plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Who do they apply to?
Okay, we'll start with the account owner. All right, so the account owner, when that owner reaches age 72, and if they're retired, they will need to take out their required minimum distribution. All right, and if they're still working and they have an IRA, they still have to take it out. So there's a certain amount every year, and there is a table that tells us how much should be taken out. Mm-hmm. So let's take a look. So any RMD for 2022 and for all subsequent years, there's a new table now. And so you take that table and you look at the distribution period factor, and that tells you how much you have to take out, and you have to do it by the end of December of this year. So if you're required to take out a required minimum distribution, it's annual by December 31st. Now it gets technical. Mm-hmm. If it's the first year you are required to take it out, you get till April of the following year. You get a few extra months to take it out if you want to. And then there's exceptions that if you retired and reached age 72, or you reached age 72 with an IRA account and it was in 2019, you use the old tables. So the key point here is that there's new tables. The benefit of the new table is that it's based on living longer, so you are required to take less out every year. All right? Okay. So let me do a quick calculation and show you how it works. So the formula is RMD equals prior end of year value. So you take the value of your IRA account as of December 31st of last year, and you divide it by this distribution period factor. So that's the table. So here's the example. You have $100,000 at the end of last year. You're 72 this year. You're going to be required to take out $100,000 divided by 27.4. That's the number of years in the table that tells us how much we have to take out. So it's roughly $3,649.64.
Roughly.
So that's the amount you must take out.
Okay.
All right.
You know, so many people out there have IRAs, obviously. Right. So it's not until you are 72 that you have to worry about this.
That's correct.
Okay. What happens if you don't take out that required amount?
Okay. So when you reach age 72, you got to start taking it out, and you have to follow the table, right? Mm-hmm. The only exception would be if you have a 401k plan and you continue to work. That would be one of the exceptions, so you could take it out at a later time. So let's go with 72, all right? You don't take it out. The government comes in. Ouch, 50% penalty.
Wow.
So if you had to take out $5,000, there's a $2,500 penalty. You had to take out $20,000, it's a $10,000 penalty. Now, you can ask for forgiveness. All right? We're Christians. We could ask for forgiveness. It's Form 5239, where you say, hey, I made a reasonable effort at calculating the amount. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. And so don't penalize me. Okay. And the IRS will consider that.
Consider it.
Right.
Okay.
Can't guarantee
like once or twice.
Can't guarantee it, but they understand it's so complicated to make sure that you take the exact amount out.
Does it also apply to anybody who's like a beneficiary of an IRA?
Inherited IRAs.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So mom had an IRA, she passes away, and now she names her child as the beneficiary. So here, the beneficiary is subjected to these same rules. And the rules have changed recently. So let's talk about this year, 2022. That individual is called a designated beneficiary. And if you were a designated beneficiary prior to 2020, the old rules apply, and it would be paid out basically based on your life expectancy. So if that daughter had a 25-year life expectancy, it would come out over 25 years. The good news is you want to pay it out as little as possible every year because it's growing tax deferred. And if you don't need it, why not get the benefit of that? If you became a designated beneficiary after 2019, you're under the new rules, and you have to take it out within 10 years. So that new rule, basically, the IRS says, look, we want to tax this money that wasn't taxed when you funded the IRA account. That's a traditional IRA. So now they're saying, we're going to take that situation and force you to take it out sooner. And there are lots of exceptions. They're called eligible designated beneficiaries, and there are 5 groups of people that allow you to take it over a lifetime or a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Complicated.
Extremely complicated. So, what if you just don't know? How much am I supposed to take out here?
Yeah, so that's the $64,000 question, and I would say let's just make one other point before I address that, which is that under these new rules, and we have a slide I think for this, that this 10-year rule, everybody thinks when it first was enacted that you could take the money out in the 10th year, but now there are proposed regulations, and so for certain people, if the account was not in payout status, you have to take it out over 9 years each year, a certain amount, and then the balance in the 10th year. So it's really complicated. So your question is a great question. Seek advice if you're not sure how to calculate the amount. It's your accountant, it's your financial advisor, it's your attorney who's knowledgeable in tax law. The thing that I want to stress is you must take out that distribution if you're subject to the RMDs, and you only have until the end of this year.
Yeah, you must know the rules, and those rules change.
Right.
So really, get some good advice on that. Okay. Vincent, thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, looking forward to it.
For our last In the Know of the year.